chance to hear it, so let her tell it. People on the streets say Sabrina speaks. Tune into the show, she will let you know. Tell all your friends and family. Real talk is no joke. You get the news straight up from grassroots and concerns. You even hear some people gone. So tell all your friends to tune in to
Good evening, Cayman. I'm Sabrina Turner, and welcome to Sabrina Speaks, your daily dose of clarity, truth, and community insights. Every weekday from 5 to 6:30 p.m., we're tackling the issues that affect you, from national headlines to grassroots concerns. Whether you're in traffic or winding down your day, this is your chance to hear it straight and speak your truth. So buckle up, Cayman. We're not holding back.
This is the show. We gotta let you know. Now we got to go.
And now here's Sabrina.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. Happy New Year. Yes, it is time for another episode of Sabrina Speaks. Yes, good afternoon, Cayman Islands. Good morning to our global family. It's been a while. Welcome to the first Sabrina Speaks of 2026. Yes, this year, and we're going to declare it. We're declaring it the Year of Civic Power. Oh, yes, I bet your cotton socks that's what we're going to do, and I'm excited to be back here with you this evening, because we have proven that we are voices of the islands, conversations for the world, and the podcast where voices continue to rise, stories unfold, and inspiration definitely is taking center stage. I am your host, Sabrina, and it's so good to be back. Even though I had to get back in the right frame of mind, mentally, and all kind of intally, if there was ever a word. It was like one of those old Buicks that you had to get really cranked up. I'm going to call it. Yep. I really had to get all ready mentally, emotionally, physically, name it, all kindly. But I'm back. With all of you on this fine, fabulous first official Monday of 2026. I want to thank God for sparing me. And, I will remain humble, hopeful, optimistic, with possible realistic mindset as I continue to walk this journey of life that we call life. Yes, remaining steadfast in principles, faith, and just being me with all of you. So as we all come here and gather into space and continue to educate, elevate, inspire, and support each other, it is so good to be back. Now, the content you're about to hear, including any discussions or opinions from myself, guests, and our participants, is intended solely for general, informational, and entertainment purposes. It is not a substitute for professional legal, medical, or financial advice. So I encourage you to consult with a qualified professional for specific concerns. Bridge Media Limited and all its affiliates disclaims all liability for any decisions or actions taken in reliance on the information presented. 345 936-8255 is the number to call, just in case you forgot it, just for those couple days that we were not live. Yes, you can call us here and be a part of the discussion, because we love to hear from you. We love your interaction. We love your feedback. Yes, and it hasn't changed. It's only gotten stronger. The relationships have only blossomed even more. And I can prove that because of all of the engagement and interaction that I had over the holidays. Oh my God, it was so good. But before we get into, got to give you time to come in, and get all settled down. And I heard you've been waiting. Connie, I'll gotta get to you. Jimbo, love you lots. Love you, dear. Marshall, good to see you. But I'll get back to you because we just gotta share the love. You know how it goes. There was a lot of persons, and you know what? Just let me get this part out of the way first. We had a lot of persons who died over the holidays and even in the past couple of days. And I want to just say my heartfelt condolences to everyone who has lost a loved one, be it over the Christmas holidays, because, you know, we weren't live. We didn't have any shows from the 19th up until this point. And goes out to my heart, and thoughts and prayers goes out to my dear friend and my former chief officer, Miss Nellie Pucci, who suddenly lost her husband, the pilot, over there in Belgium. And, you know, I'm not normally a napper. I once I'm up and I'm going, I just keep going. But it was the holidays and I chilled out. But it was just taking down all the Christmas decorations, felt a little wonky, and took a shower and just went to sleep. And I was awoken by my phone just going off. And I was like, when I read the first 2 messages, that was the news I got. And I was like, oh my gosh, is this the reason I don't take naps? But that one really jolted me. You know, my thoughts, Nellie, she's such a sweet person. But that one hit me, and like a number of others as well. Eleanor, a very good friend and family of us as well, Eleanor Moya, who has lost her fight for cancer and her battle. And I think her funeral services is later on this week or next week, Tuesday. But there have been so much loss over this season, and even for the new year. It's just like, oh my gosh. So I just want to kick it off there. I know I started off with a heck of a bang, because that's exactly my excitement for coming back and rolling up the curtains, doing a new, fresh approach. Don't kill me for the backdrop. It's going to get better. We're going to brighten it up for you. I'm spoiling you guys, you know, but yeah, I just had to get that bit out of the way, out of respect for all of my friends, families, and loved ones, and for those families who have suffered loss over the holidays. You know, there's an empty space at many tables around many of the gatherings that we all had this Christmas. But even now, as we enter into the new year and making resolutions and all this sort of stuff, and then you're just like, gosh, the year's just started. And but I had to just do that. And Miss Nellie, my thoughts and prayers are with you, the whole family, the Moya family, and everyone who has lost a loved one. Our thoughts and prayers are with you all as you navigate this time, you know, of loss. So yeah, there we have it. For those of you who are just joining us, welcome to the first episode of Sabrina Speaks here for 2026. And it's always good to have you with us, and all of the newcomers. I know I've seen some of you over the holidays, and some of you were a little bashful, a little shy to come up to me. And some, of course, I don't know you like that. I just know you from this virtual space. But if you don't tell me what your names are, I'm not going to know you like that. But I'm quite sure people have realized now that I'm a person. I'm very approachable, and I just like to have fun. I just enjoy life, and I've embraced it. And I like your feedback. I honestly just do love your feedback. So thank you for making yourself be known once you see me out, be it in the supermarkets, at the plant stores, or at the grocery, at some of the other Kirks or Ale Thompsons, wherever. I love engaging with you. And thank you for your feedback, for show ideas and everything like that. But yeah, as we kicked off the New Year's, losing some, we still have to celebrate those who are celebrating a birthday today. Class of 1990, Carmen Macfield. I did not have a good picture of you, Carmen, so I'm sorry I'm not able to place a picture of you up here on the Sabrina Speaks family page. But I want to wish you a very happy birthday, and I hope that you're enjoying your birthday today. And thank you for all of you who assisted me as well in wishing my aunt, Elsie May, birthday wishes. Thank you for all the love that you're showing us on the on the platform, the Sabrina Turner page. Yes, Elsie Mae. Now, who would ever look at this lady and see that she's 67? Can you imagine? Mm-hmm. Elsie Mae is 67. My aunt. Look at her. Watch her. Watch her. Mm-hmm. Hot stepper. She's a hot stepper. Well, she's celebrating her birthday today, and I want to say thank you for all of the persons who really just stepped up and assisted me in celebrating her today on her birthday. What happened to my audio, Connie? You guys are not hearing me? Yeah, audio, check yours. I'm not hearing anything else. Everybody else seems that, am I fine? Just give me a thumbs up if I'm good. Connie Bonnie, check your audio. Yeah, Denver must be hearing me. Happy New Year to you, my love. Yep. Marshall is sending happy birthday greetings. Check your audio, Connie Bonnie. Yeah, but Elsie Mae is celebrating her birthday today, and we want to really, really celebrate her and thank you all for your love and well wishes there. She's one of those who tunes in, and oh yeah, sometimes she'll comment, and but she has a wit about her that sometimes her sense of humor is very dry. She comes out of left field with some of the weirdest opinions, but she has a heart of gold. She's very hard to read in a sense where the family just knows her, but she will give you the shirt off of her back. She's one of principle. She believes in high standards and often misread. That looks like that's a thing with our family. But she's very professional. Everyone will know her if you are out there at Kirk Freeport shopping over the holidays at Bayshore Mall in the perfume store. She's a woman. She's just down into it and get her work done. And Elsie Mae, we celebrate you today. From your son, Leon, Bianca, your daughter, your 2 kids, all of the grandchildren, your husband, Herbert. They send you all the love and well wishes today. I know we celebrated yesterday. We celebrated a little earlier. It was good to just celebrate with you. But today is the day. Thank God for sparing your life and seeing another day. And as we all recognize you and pay tribute to this queen that was born today. Happy birthday. May the celebrations and festivities continue. May God bless and keep you for many more birthdays to come. What did I do? Yeah, many more birthdays to come. And lots more laughter that we will share as a family together. Yeah. So let's see who's here. I know you all love this part. Good evening, Sabrina. Happy New Year to you as well, Marshall. Happy New Year. I'm quite sure you had a blast. It was cold. Oh my gosh. Even I got one picture to show on it with me. I got some stuff that I'm going to share with you, but I have to get this out of the way. Of course, we have to acknowledge you because you are the bedrock of what we do here. Damian Henry, Happy New Year to you as well. Jimbo, that's right. We're going to be clicking those. Yeah, I did a number of them, Jimbo. Oops, what did we do here? What am I seeing? Facebook is giving me a notice. Let me just restart the Facebook page here. Hold on, give me a minute. CMR Facebook page was acting up. Let's add them back. CMR, let's go before we lose that connection. There we go. Facebook should be back up and running now for CMR. Yep. There we go. So this shows up on a reel. But yeah, hey, Jimbo, it's good. It's good to be back, as I said. Connie, Happy New Year. It is. Trust me, it's good. Please don't feel any way if I had to apologize to a lot of friends and family this year because I will cook in. Oh my gosh, I cooked up a storm. I even surprised the family. Remember now, this would be the first year that I would have had an entire Christmas that I really just had me to deal with and not have to deal with constituents. But you know what? Let me finish big you up and I'll tell you about that. I even got some pictures to show you about a cook. And just for the record, please, I'm going to put up the disclaimer. I did my version of Cayman style beef. Okay. My version. So the picture that you will see with the steam, and you may see a little bit of sweet pepper in there too. That's why I said it. It's my version. But I'll share with you, I will share with you some images of the dishes that I had. And it was just different. I'll let you know how I spent my Christmas. Um, uh, just to share it with you. I didn't do a lot of posting. That was deliberate because I gave myself to my family and my close friends. And we did go out a few hot spots, and we really, I had a good time. Oh yeah, I had a good time. Oh yeah. But you know what? The good thing is I didn't end up on my road. She didn't get a thing. I behaved myself, but I must have been a good girl that I did not make the news. So that was really good. Yes. Connie seems like I've been missing forever. A couple of people said that, but it wasn't that long. See, you did it. You did it. Hey, Michelle, real Michelle. Happy New Year to you, my sweet. And Stevens, Happy New Year to you as well. And Donnie, so good to have you all here. Connie, Jim still got you. Yeah, he playing it safe. My boy Jimbo is playing it safe. The real Michelle says, yes, building and embracing love and light, CMR family. Hugs to you, my love. Hugs to you. Hey, Lisa, how are you? Good evening, Sabrina and everyone. Happy New Year. We ask God to help us and trust him and walk in faith. Yes, that's been my mantra. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me, and I live my life by faith. And I know it's only divine why I'm here today. Honest to God, to keep it together and everything. And I no longer question whatever life deals with me. It's just a positive mindset. Yeah. Denver, it's good to have you back here as well. And Marshall is sharing happy birthday wishes with me. I don't know what happened to the sounder for a minute, but obviously it's back. Yes. My school. Oh, Denver, Elsme went to school with you. Okay. Yeah. Now you know. If you didn't know, she's my aunt, Mr. Douglas. Yes, my aunt. Darlene, yes, there we go. CMR, it should be fixed now. Thank you so much. I'm quite sure we're back on CMR. I got the warning. So we should be back up on CMR Facebook page now as we do that. Thank you so much, real Michelle. It's a nice little dress that I found. I try to pull them out, and I did some cleaning, and I trying to sort out the place, and I pull out stuff from all crooks and crannies. So yeah, once I find them, I'll wear them. Here on CMR, you are. All of the feeds are there. I'm just hoping they all stay up. As we can see, we're still navigating the space on all of social media platform handles. Sometimes they boot us off and we just have to do it. Yeah, so there we go. Aliano, happy New Year to you. I'm hoping that you're keeping busy out there as the tourist season picks up, and that I'm wishing you all the best for this season. Ruthie, to you, my classmate as well. Happy New Year to you as well. All the best for you. It is always good to see all of you. You're right there. He better or else. Yes, Let me tell you, this is a love triangle. We'll see how this ends up in 2026. Yes, Happy New Year to you. Thank you, Annie, for telling me that. Yeah. Oh, Denver, you're brute. So there we go. It's a small world. You'd be surprised how connected we are as a community. And even though people said that they didn't know who I was connected to, who I wasn't connected to until got into politics and parliament, it's because I wasn't really out there. Yes, I was out there, but I'm not really out there. And it's amazing how much of you figure it out once you see pictures. And I'm constantly educating you about me, my background, where I'm coming from. And you get to learn me little by little each day, almost each episode. But yeah, it's good to be back. Denver, that's good to know. Happy birthday to your beautiful aunt. I know Miss Elsime worked at, she's still there. She's still there. She's the manager of the, of the perfume store at Bayshore. And she loves that. It keeps her busy and it keeps the rest of the family sane. Yes, it keeps the rest of the family sane. We got to keep Elsme busy. Oh my God, what a personality. And for those of you, Denver, who knows her from going to school, you will know she has a personality, right? But yeah, it keeps all of us sane, but good fun. Yeah, Aliano, pockets fat, but the cost of Cayman living it, we not even going there today because we got so much in store to educate on this platform. Remember, I said we are going to civic. This is a clarion call for our civic duty this year to just look at what we're doing here in this space and engaging. Cost of living, yes, is rough. We're seeing what's happening in the region, which I'll dabble on some of those topics that are happening today. But I just wanted to start off today on a light note, and we can go into those conversations, reminisce as well. So yeah, but you hold that money here, Aliana. Do not spend it because, from the conversations that I'm hearing, it's going to be a rough year. We're seeing what's happening geopolitically in the region. We still don't know the uncertainty. We know what new fees is going to directly and indirectly hit every one of us in the Cayman Islands some way, somehow. And take my foolish advice, don't spend. Don't even drive if you don't have to drive. Don't go out unnecessarily if you don't have to. So yeah, we're in for a rough ride. And we're just going to have to tighten our belts and adjust accordingly and speak. We're going to have to speak. Unintended consequences. Yeah. But you got to have to speak. That's what we're going to be advocating for this year. What Jim say? Denver taught me everything I need to know about jewelry back in the day. He's a great guy. Okay, Jimbo. Carmelita, Happy New Year, Miss Sandra and your crew. We're going to reverse it to Sabrina and my crew. And I'm sure, yes, it's a CMR platform. Same difference, Miss Carmelita. Lisa, glad that she is still there. Me, George at work together. Oh, really, Lisa? Okay. Small world. Tartarian, you, Sabrina, gal, what happening? Hey, good evening. Happy New Year, my friend. How are you? You're live. Oh, yes, you're live. Hear that voice. Give me the 2026 version. No? Give me.
I was gonna say to you that you look great, but you're probably so used to hearing that by now that
no. Let me tell you something. Anytime we can share positive stuff with anyone, trust me, dish it on, lather it all over. Oh my gosh, there's no 9:30 here, huh? Thank you so much, my love. Well. Yes, thank you very much. How are you? How's the New Year treating you so far?
It don't make no sense to complain because those that care can't do nothing, and those that can do something don't care. So I'm grateful.
We're going to change that way of thinking, and we're going to start with ourselves. You know, I'm not one of those that make New Year's resolutions for a number of reasons, because I say it starts with me first. It shouldn't take a clock strike or a different year on a calendar for me to try to be the best version of me. And it's for that reason, life is real. And I think some of us get a little disappointed when we don't actually follow through on our New Year's resolutions, because life happens. And I just try to be a better version of me every day, and just look at life and take it one day at a time. I no longer make long-term plans, caller. I don't, because it's so uncertain. I mean, look at the deaths. I mean, come on. I just don't do it in big chunks anymore. And to tell, yeah. So I honestly just give God thanks every day. I just try to show love in my way. I try not to be a copycat. I don't be a copycat. I be me. And just if you don't have anything good to say, then don't say anything at all. And that's how I've embarked on life. And I live by faith, and faith alone.
Well, if it's any consolation, I'm glad that there's only one of you.
Aww.
Because nobody could replace you.
Thank you so, so much for those kind words. Yeah. I'm hoping really that it does inspire others to just take a different look at life because, like I said, look at what's happening around the world. And it could be, even though what we have seen in the region, you've heard because you've been a loyal listener of this platform from day one. And how much times have you heard me talk about national security and brought up this very same topic? And, it was like, I felt like it wasn't sticking. And now it's reality. Now it's everybody's talking about it. But I've been saying this a long time ago. What happens when it becomes, with the precedent setting, that it's a regular person in any country? What happens when that happens?
Well, I have a question for you.
Go ahead.
If 2026 is the year of civic power,
Mhm.
what's the one habit that Caymanians have to drop and the one habit that we have to build to make accountability real?
We have to drop that. As long as it's not on my doorstep, it doesn't bother me. And we need to come together and unite more. Be genuine about it.
I agree with you.
I think that is the biggest ingredient that we need moving forward, is that as Caymanians, as a society, embracing of all of those who are here, to be honest with you, because the fact still remains. You see how much of us have died. The stats don't lie. We have to band together. We have to unite. We have to really just be more, no longer be withdrawn. I really feel that we need to just come together a lot more instead of just being a segregated society. And the same feeling that I got like when I was back and forth to the supermarket over the Christmas holidays, because I swore I'd done my shopping. And every day leading up that you're baking something, that you could do something, or you had to go back to top up on stuff. And the engagement, the warmth that I felt, I was engaging with people from West Bay. I was engaging with people from that I've passed in my former life, persons who are here in permanent residence, persons who are here as contracted workers, non-born Caymanians, but Caymanians. And the exchange was the same, caller. The exchange was the same. And that's that feeling of the holidays and just being out there interacting, engaging, and all that sort of stuff. Why can't that be who we are all the time? I don't know.
I agree with you. I mean, but but coming together has to mean unity and standards. I mean, we can disagree about politics and class and district and church and and still agree on the basics: fairness
Correct.
and transparency and competence, right? But with respect to the accountability bit, I wanted to ask you another question, because I think this is something that we need to drop as a people. What do you think will change when we stop asking who should fix this and start asking what am I willing to do about it?
I think that you will find those who are actually holding the handle right now will actually pay a closer attention. Right now, what they're seeing is that they realize the passiveness or the culture of our people is that we would prefer to call privately. And once it's sorted out on that end and nobody knows that we're all speaking from the same page, but you're not hearing, you know that term, the silent majority? You will see the change in behaviors of the powers that be subtly, but they will never say who was the call or the caller that really made the difference. And I feel that once persons become more vocal, respectfully, as we have demonstrated on this platform, the powers that be will realize it's no longer keep them dumb and under your thumb. We're coming with persons are having more informed discussions, their rational way of thinking, their opinions are now being accepted. Their views and perspectives from a different side of the coin is now being able to be ventilated respectfully. And instead of it just being, this is what I say and this is how it goes type of mentality, because you're in an elected role, which has been the culture. I'm feeling that the whole governance of where we are as a society, as a people, as Cayman, the temperature is changing now. And they realize that the people, those voters, are now in a better and informed position to hold them accountable. And it may be because of the power of technology, how easily access of information there is if you are hungry to know more. And then you have forums like this where we are actually having the difficult conversations and we're real people. So I feel that our society that is somewhat sheltered, you've seen the response from the immigration reform that was a big talk, even all over the holidays. Even though it's passed, there's still clear as mud. There's still no regulations. We still don't know for sure in March when it's going to take effect. But yet the new fees for the e-bikes going to come in place for the 16th of January. And some of these new fees that is just going to slam and hit us, not to say that some of them weren't needed. Do not misunderstand me. The clock keeps ticking, but yet there's still so much more questions than answers. And when you look at the level of conversation that has been had around all of the subject matters, locally, regional, and international, that we're realizing now does have an impact on the Caymanian society some way, somehow. Any elected politician should be on the edge of their seat with the way in which our society is now evolving.
Mm. Well, I don't want to hog the airwaves, but I could talk to you for hours.
Likewise. And congratulations on your show, The Voice Can't Hide. I've been following it, but I'm doing it after the fact. And excellent topics, by the way.
Okay. Well, I mean, if you wanna guest host one time.
Oh boy, that could be a different level. You know me. I think you're figuring me out a little bit.
No. We don't want Sabrina. We want LaQuisha.
You want LaQuisha?
No.
Thank you so much. Anytime. I appreciate you calling in anytime. You're always thought-provoking, but I hope that I was able to share, exactly what I feel based on your questions, which is obviously not scripted. I hope that you understand where I'm coming from.
I do. And I agree on many of your points.
Thank you. And if you don't agree, I'd like to know what parts and give your version of it, your section of it.
Well, I mean, I find that when you present things, Auntie Sabrina, you're very. I find, I can't speak for anybody else. I find that you're very balanced, and you're very, you're more about serving us,
Mm-hmm.
The facts.
Yeah.
And so I mean, it's hard to disagree with the facts. I mean, you can't disagree with facts.
Exactly. I really do my best to bring a balanced approach, nonpartisan. And as I said, and I will continue to hold this, is that my opinion here does not matter. There are times that you will ask me my opinion, as you normally do, but then that doesn't take away from the crooks and crannies of our conversation.
Yes.
And at what I have done here in this space, based on the topics that we have presented, and even local, shouldn't feel, and you were on one of the interviews that we conduct, discussions that we were having in regards to the same immigration reform, that I'm merely reporting what's already in the public's domain, breaking it down in layman's simple terms. But it's very hard to break down something when you don't have, in that particular conversation for that topic, a set of regulations that tell you how things will be placed in motion. Correct. There have been a number of questions that have been asked to me directly in regards to this law that has now been passed. And they're specific questions to person's current situation. And honestly, I can't answer because there is no regulations. And I don't want to say, well, it would only be sound, or it only would make sense if this was the case. But it appears we can't do that for the amount of amendments that could come, and we don't know about it, and there's no public consultation. It's just amendments. So I'm very cautious when persons ask me on immigration related matters, especially specific to the law, not regulations, because regulations don't have to be passed. They actually just go into force. I can't comment because you just don't know what's going to end up in the regulations. So, but I will do my endeavor best to keep it balanced, to keep it factual, and just like, have you heard? Did you know? And breaking it down, because we will be hearing a lot of terminologies as we're seeing now all of these direct and indirect threats of what happened in Venezuela, now being with Mexico and Cuba, and we're talking about human migration. We're hearing about sovereignty and all that sort of stuff. These are all terms that you wouldn't normally hear in everyday conversations, but now you're hearing more of them. And I know some persons are saying, why are we interfering in US business? Because it's not going to impact us. Well, I have spoken on national security numerous times here before. And even though that has happened in Venezuela, we saw what it did with travel in the Eastern Caribbean, where travel was halted pretty much. And we have persons who were holidaying there, persons who are returning, maybe some teachers may be returning for school and all that sort of stuff that could have been impacted by that. So if you think that we're not at all connected to what could happen, and even human migration, because we realize now where Cuba is directly benefited or have been directly benefited from services and products and stuff from Venezuela. And we know how susceptible we are of getting those migrants coming here, but it doesn't have to be limited just to Cuba. You understand? And now you're hearing these indirect threats that there could be other jurisdictions that is on the hit list next. So if you think that we shouldn't be concerned, we shouldn't be vigilant, I think you are living under a rock.
So drag us out, Auntie Sabrina.
Mm-hmm.
Drag us out from under the rock.
Yes, I will go a little bit in more detail, to be honest with you, in another episode. I know that Sandra will be having some experts or some persons in the region speaking on it tomorrow. But the main reason that I felt it was warranted for me to bring this up a little bit, and I will make sure under Have You Heard segment about exactly what happened over there in Venezuela and how it could directly impact or not impact us if these things continue. But I wanted her to ventilate it with those people first. But this has been something that I have been speaking about on the show, about national security, how it could impact the travel, importation of food. Hence, we had Mr. Woody Foster not once, but twice on the show. How it could be impacting even the agricultural sector, knowing we were impacted by Hurricane Melissa in Jamaica and CARICOM states. And I even broke down what CARICOM states was. Here we are now with immigration reform, persons making their personal decisions to just leave. And we're hearing Caymanians themselves saying that they're definitely at the rate in which things are going, that the Cayman Islands is looking like a less and less attractive place. I'm talking about Caymanians, to actually retire, to stay. So these are all things that are going to impact those decisions, to be honest. And even persons who decide to make here their home, they could be having second thoughts as well. So to tell you that this and the precedent setting, sovereignty is at risk. The peace that we know and tranquility is at risk here in this region of the world. It's no longer in the Far East. It's now in the Western Hemisphere. We ought to be wide awake. We should keep awake because everyone will feel this. And that is why the right messaging needs to be had wherever there are any voids or gaps nationally from a country, small island development states like ours, that you need to hear from our powers that be. They may be in their space saying, oh, well, it's nothing, we're good. But it's leaving too much room for doubt, nervousness, panic, misinformation to fill a space if the right persons are not speaking that are in a leadership role. And hence, national security, border security, some of the things that we should really be doing at this stage is really bolstering up our borders and looking at even accommodations, because it's if things in the region continues to actually heat up, we could have some impacts. Not to say that the Cayman Islands is one of the destinations, that anyone would want to just come and shelter, whatever. It's usually a touch point. But then there are just certain national security risks that it puts this jurisdiction at. And we already know how porous our borders are. And, we have to look at the asylum and protection claims. We have to look at the impacts that it could have on our irregular maritime arrivals. We're seeing where even tourist boats, cruise ship passengers were impacted by that. So there's a number of things that we are not immune from when we have tensions like this within our region. And our border control posturing right now, which we know needed to be improved, needs to be elevated, to be honest with you. Be it more collaboration, MOUs with neighboring borders and jurisdictions like Jamaica and all that sort of stuff, and more regional coordination. Not to tell you that these are not being done, but this has happened in real time in our region, and we have heard really nothing. I see where Denver is saying, don't worry, Cayman, very safe. Uncle Sam and his past president have too much money here. There's an eagle in the sky looking at us constantly. But even if that is the case, thank you for that. At the end of the day, not hearing anything doesn't help. And if I've missed something, please, I stand to be corrected. But what we look at when unrest like this as well, caller, in the region, we are looking at even the risk of counter smuggling. We need to be looking at focusing on counter smuggling, because this creates that environment for opportunistic trafficking of people, opportunistic trafficking of more drugs and small arms. We're seeing where now our border control agents have been doing a good job based on what we're seeing released out here. And of course, our strong ties as a British overseas jurisdiction, which when I say proximity matters, because we are a UK jurisdiction, right? But proximity matters in situations like this, because we're closer to the United States and Canada than we are the UK. It is what it is. So yes, Denver, I see where you're going. But this is why at the end of the day, aligning with, of course, we know that the UK has our back because we do belong to them, and other regional task force is key. And I'm just hoping that our powers that be have actually solidified and gotten all of these things in place. But the key is, caller, I feel, public communication. Anything that is said by any level of the operational arm, be it our governor, who's responsible for national security, be it our premier, of course, the elected arm of government, should be considered clear, empathetic messaging, and that actually lessens or creates a more environment where it reduces rumor-driven surges. You understand? Or people we have a lot of people that depend on the sea for their livelihood, or fishermen out there, and we know the risks that it is that we've been having. So even screening for these persons that could find themselves on our shore for dignity, because they still have to be dealt with dignity. So it's going to be a lot to digest. Is a lot what we need to watch for daily, though, I feel, to be honest, is we probably need to take into consideration, caller, any anomalies, any changes in a report of entries. Like, let's say there's an unscheduled vessel patterns, or an increase in distress calls out there in our maritime. These are things that you look for, these anomalies, right? And then you look at also, I feel, when you see spikes in other jurisdiction, let's say Barbados or Trinidad, then you see spikes of persons in those jurisdictions, that we got to keep looking at these things. And we really need to keep a look at what's being said in the social media platform that is so far reaching as well. So I gotta be honest with you. We really need to keep a handle on it, but I think how we actually communicate to our people here in the Cayman Islands will be critical, at the end of the day, because there's so much uncertainty right now, even with Venezuela, not knowing who is who and what is what, who's running it. It is what it is. There are lots of questions, more questions than answers right now.
Well, I'm listening intently.
Thank you so much. Always a pleasure to have you.
All right. Take care.
Yes. Take care. Thank you so much, caller. Yeah, just before that call, I told you I was going to share with you, because we see what's happening, and it's real. It's real what's happening. I don't want to miss some of your comments here. Sandra is saying, what is happening in Britain? Anyone that can go to Britain, they can come to the Cayman Islands. What is happening in Britain? Anyone that can go to Britain can come to the Cayman Islands. Yeah, you're quite right. Denver also says, remember when we had that bomb threat? Yes. On the plane that landed here, the U.S. were here before that plane landed. U.S. protection is there, not the U.K. Again, Denver leads to what I was saying, proximity matters. So it is all of these relationships and ties that we have with neighboring jurisdictions that will help us, which again aligns with exactly what I said. Unity is the key. Togetherness with our brothers and sisters. That's just not only local, but you know what? Practice begins at home. Because if we can actually live amongst our each other, our peers, our brothers and our sisters here, in a unified way, coming together, it's no different than how we relate and actually deal with our brothers and sisters of other British overseas territories as well. And those who are a part of CARICOM. Remember, we're just an associated member. We're not a full CARICOM member state jurisdiction, because we still belong to the United Kingdom. And Bermuda is our brother and sister, and they're just like us. As the talks then increased, you may see, they're up over there more north. What do they have to do with the Caribbean? They're an island. They're a part of us. They're a BOTC. Their entire governance is pretty much just like ours. But this is what I'm saying, is that more talks with Jamaica, more talks with Barbados, more talks with all of the regional partners and players who are impacted by all of this. And just doing it in a unified way is the only way we can come together. But like what I said, practice begins at home. If we can show that we have close bonds, excellent working relationship at home with our brothers and sisters here at home, it will make, even from a national level, those communications with other jurisdiction and bordering countries so much easier. And I just feel we need to be proactive in this case, but remain alert. Definitely. So I wanted to share with you before I go into the Have You Heard segment, which would take us into some very important topics as well. But before we go, I wanted to share with you some of my cooking. And I had the disclaimer for all of you who are just joining me. Don't judge me on my Cayman style beef. It's my version. Okay, it's Sabrina's version. Home Rose say, just remember, Jesus died on the cross, and no living organic matter restricts after, after it's dead, can lean from Jesus, but it did rose again. Jesus, yes, Jesus really died. Jim says, Russia, China, and Iran, eyes too close to home. Yeah, you're quite right, Jim. I'm seeing that a lot on the social media handle. It's for true. Half of Hitler people went to South America. Awake up, Cayman Islands. Hello from the UK. It's 3 degrees. Oh, brr. Here, the ponds are frozen. Happy New Year to you as well. Keep it. But you know what? Send some of the cool breeze. I can't believe we had one day out of last week, we had temperatures that was in the high 60s. I think it got down to like, it was a feel of 68 at one point. And I didn't mind it. But to see the island in me, right? The island girl in me. This was me outside. Look, don't judge me. Look at me. I had to lay in my hammock. And it was cold because, oh my God, and I could feel the temperature changing more than once, but I was wrapped up. Oh yes, I was wrapped up in my hammock outside because I just wanted that island feel, enjoy the crisp breeze. At one point, even the 2 dogs, they huddled up together. One ended up down by my foot in the hammock, but I had to share that with my family and friends, how I was. And they're like, you in this blooming hammock. There's a saying that goes here in my family, life is better on the porch. This proved its point over the Christmas holidays. But I loved that drop in temperature. I wish it could be here for a little longer, but that was me one evening, just enjoying the cool breezes. I just pulled a little blanket and yes, I just enjoyed those cool breezes. So for you guys with this type of weather in the UK, there is nowhere in hell I would be outside if it was that temp. And I know I have friends over there in the UK who was saying, a very close friend says that they were not envious of our weather, even though I was very cold. What they described to me, it was -7 degrees on that day. And even where they were going into their kitchen at the end of the day, they had to wear jackets because it was that cold. It was like, but they loved the jerk seasoning and the sauces that we sent along with them as they were leaving. And that reminded them of a taste and flavors of the island. So let me tell you something. You can keep that. But I loved the dip in temperatures. So this was my ham. Here we go. There we go. I did, for the first time, a ham that was not honey glazed. I had apricots, a little bit of brown sugar with all of my spices and my pimentos and all that sort of stuff. And I created this glaze that was just different. A little bit of jerk as well on that. And that was that's a 9-pound, almost 10-pound ham. And yeah, for all of you who judging, that's matters whom, but I tell you what, we had a big joke this Christmas for the amount of pork that they ate. Yes. So this was my ham that I cooked on Christmas Day, and everybody just really, really, really enjoyed it. And it was really good. I must say it was different. The thing is, and I'll tell you more, I try everything since I've had some time on my hands that I find on YouTube and Pinterest. If it's there, I'm going to try it. And I said, why stick to the traditional type of hams and glazes and all this sort of stuff? So boy, every time I find a different glaze or stuff, I went out, I bought the ingredients, and it was a hit. I must say it went like hotcakes. The family really, really, really enjoyed it. So I'm very happy for the feedback that I got from the family. That was the ham. Now here we go. That's the Cayman style beef, my version. At one point, I had some friends come over and they were like, where's the beef? I said, oh, it's over there. They're like, it's just the pot. In no time, the Cayman style beef went. Like, no time. No time. That's my version of Cayman style beef. I know that the traditional is just salt and pepper, slow fire, and it's big chunks of it. But I use a tip sirloin. I do not like, I can be honest with you, I do not go for the fresh Cayman style beef. That's not my choice. I really don't even I hardly eat beef, period, meat. But I really put out an effort over the holidays to actually prepare my version of Cayman style beef because it's so loved by the family. And let me tell you something. You even the pot bottom, they were scraping, and we had the rolls to go along with it and all that good stuff. My other aunt, Georgette, she brought some rolls from Kim and Brack. Oh my God. Yes, to die for. She bought the dinner rolls from the Brack, and we really, really partake in that. Now, one was a big surprise that I did this year that is not traditional here to the Cayman Islands, but again, me fooling with YouTube and Pinterest and everything I could find, I did something called a Christmas rice. You heard me right. Christmas rice. Well, what's Sabrina talking about? Voila. That's a Christmas rice. Yes. And it was delicious. When I said to my family, there's a couple surprise dishes that I have this year, they were like, oh yeah, what is she talking about? Something she's going to bake now. She doesn't know the name. She messes up the recipe, and we all are going to eat it because it usually tastes good. But when I said Christmas rice, they were a little standoffish, and then they partake. Yeah, that, what are you seeing are not raisins, they're cranberries. And it was cooked down with onions, sweet peppers, some scallions, and basmati rice. And then I put a little bit of food coloring to get the red and the green, and then the white from the regular greens that wasn't turned. And the flavors just came all together so nicely. Now, of course, there were other things on the menu. I'm only sharing with you exactly what I prepared that I was proud of. And I did a mean cornbread as well. And I tried too, angel food, a pineapple angel food cake that was also a huge hit. That was New Year's Day, I think. Yeah. So that was just some of the highlights. Well, you guys saw the sorrel, the cake. That was a huge hit as well, guys. And sorry that it didn't last, to be honest. It didn't last. We were eating it up like you would not believe. And it was a huge, huge hit. I know some of you got me whole up because I had promised on some, and I never got to you guys because it didn't last in my home. And last but not least, I told my family, I said, come on over. We're going to do brunch on New Year's Day. So because they're so good at time, no, they're horrible for time. I said, I'm going to do a pot of ackee and codfish. I'm going to do some boiled dumplings. I'm going to do some fritters and bammy and all that good stuff. And they love my burgers. So what they didn't know is that I was really going to do the burgers on the grill, some ribs and all that sort of stuff. But they took their own sweet time. And what was supposed to be 1 o'clock, because of course they were out celebrating, they didn't get to the house till after 7. I had already given up on them. But look here, that's what your girl cooked. I cook ackee and codfish. Connie, you'd be proud of me. Connie would be so, so proud of me. I did it. And it was a hit. And guess what? I did the bammy. And we put the bammy on the top of it. We put the codfish on the top of the bammy. And those little fritters in the back, they were like poppers. And they were kind of hollow, so you could stuff them. Oh my goodness. This was delicious. Delicious. Now, this is what my family gets out of me when I'm not giving of service to the people of the Cayman Islands. And let me tell you something. I had such a good time preparing all of these meals because I can remember from 2020, New Year's, Christmas Eve was not for me because, I drove through the Prospect constituency pretty much every Christmas Eve on the back of a truck, spreading Christmas cheer, giving out Christmas presents to the kids and all that sort of stuff. And when people realized that that was a tradition during that time, you didn't realize how much it took away from your personal time until now. And I think that is why I embraced my culinary skills, excited about different recipes and all that sort of stuff this Christmas, because you don't realize from 2019 straight through your entire term how much you give of yourself to the community and your family. Thank God they understand, they pay the consequences. But you know what? even with seeing Jay and Miss Heather and all of them doing theirs with their drive-through, and Isaac and all of them, even Catherine and all of them doing their stuff. I'm like, oh yeah, while they're doing that, I was either Cabana. One night we were at Carew, took in a couple of house parties and all that sort of stuff. It's amazing to weigh the difference of being in a political role versus not having that political responsibility and spending time with friends, visitors, and family. And I gotta be honest with you, this Christmas, the biggest joy was actually preparing all of those meals and seeing everybody just enjoy and coming together. A couple nights we just sat around the back and we played music and that sort of stuff and shared stories and reminiscing like, girl, you could go rub-a-dub this year because this time last year, you were actually planning your prospect Christmas party that we had hundreds of people attended. Now, oh my gosh, what are you doing? We're calling up friends. What are you doing? Where are you going? Because yeah, and you don't realize that until now you have this moment. And I'm just so happy that I've had that opportunity to give of service and now to give back to immediate family and just live life. So yeah, it was something, and I felt that it would have been nice for me to share with you because I know you guys were following me on for the sorrel cake. The fruit cake didn't come out bad either. They came out good. So I think what this is going to be happening now is a tradition. Definitely this is going to remain, oops, not that one. Where's this one? This one is definitely going to be a new tradition of the Turners, where this Christmas rice is going to always be there. The huge hit for cornbread, definitely. And I think the family is getting used to this New Year's Day brunch now, that's going to actually be another big hit for the family. So yeah, that's just a little sneak peek into what I did over the Christmas and just comparing being in political life, comparing being just a regular member of society. Yes, I got my life back. So it was really good to do that. I'm so happy that I could share that with you. And I'm hoping that all of you had a wonderful Christmas and New Year's as well. And even New Year's. Yeah, I did it my way. Good evening, caller. You're live on Sabrina Speaks. What's on your mind? And Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you, Sabrina, and all of you. Sabrina Speaks family, but Charlotte, no happiness with me. I still in Tampa because from November been bad with me. Because I still up there now. My husband got get surgery at Moffitt. And I don't know, it's not sounding good.
Oh, no.
Because they discovered some stuff. I was supposed to come back on the 2nd, but I don't know when I'm coming back because we just meeting with the doctor tomorrow because the holiday messed us up. But I don't know. So I'm going to pray for me, Charles.
Yeah.
And then I want to say condolences to Newton family. That was a good friend. Oh my God, I can't believe that. And my cousin Paul Houston from South County.
Yes, Captain Paul.
He family to me, and I was supposed to call him before I left, but I never get to call him because he was in hospital, and they can bury him on Saturday, and I'm going to be there. So from November, no, I'm live, but from November been bad for me, Charles. Because you remember my nephew get killed, and then December 8 was a bad time because that was his birthday, and he was buried. So I don't know, from that, the 6th of November that happened till now. I don't know, but I thank God to God, and just all I can ask is pray for me, and I pray to God. Hope that everything goes. It's not sounding good. But a race on, it didn't have to take his voice walks out. I don't know. No.
So you just decided to stay over there in Tampa since you were already there, that you got their results.
The doctor called Jovita, and she said that way we was, and then Jovita told her, and she said, well, it would be better for him to refer him to Moffitt because that's a good place. So that's where we plan to go. But then, like I say, we done some stuff, but we can't meet with the doctor till tomorrow because he was on holidays, and that messes us up. We still don't know exactly what they have to do, but his head nurse talked to us and whatever. So when we did a scan on the 30th, and when they find out now what that's saying, whatever, then they take it from there. So I don't know when I'm getting home because they say we may have to be for a while. So I hope nothing do happen, that they block Cayman flights and stuff, because with all this confusion, I don't know what happened. And it look like play with my luck. Anything will happen, so I don't know. Because my mother used to tell us if it wasn't so bad when we wouldn't have none at all. So I guess, well.
So you
But my daughter keeps telling me.
you checked your passport. Now you have enough time because normally once you land in the US, it's 6 months.
Well, I don't know.
But don't assume.
Well, I would say, but they never stamp our passport, so we don't know what they give us. That's the thing, and I don't have no way to find out.
I'll message you privately. Just something. There's a website Joita could go on, and I will message you, or I'll call you back. And if it's anything, I'll talk to Joita. But you don't want to assume.
I know, because I have about the same about the gift Cayman in 6 months. I say, yeah, but
you don't want to assume.
Correct. Yes, correct. I don't want to bet that.
Yeah. So it's the best way to be safe than sorry. Yeah. And even though it's medical reasons and there could be some leniency, ignorance of the law is no excuse. So yeah.
They never even stamp it. So we need one the passport for a stamp because we look and we don't know. They never tell me nothing.
Correct. There's a website that you could go on though. And she process too. So we don't know. We don't know where we stand. We don't know how much time they give. They give a week, 2 weeks, a month, 6 months, whatever. Did they ask you how long you were coming for when you arrived? Do you remember?
I don't remember that. She just asked what was the purpose of the visit, and I was telling her that my nephew had get killed, and she sympathized with me, but we were coming to a funeral, but she never said no more, and they just passed us through, and that was it. Okay,
and your return ticket has what date on it? Well, you know what? Don't even answer me. Don't. I will deal with you off air.
So we getting, they're supposed to extend, and after we were supposed to come back on the 2nd, but they open it, somebody fixing that first, because we get a letter from the place, and they're fixing the ticket open. They're leaving it open because we don't know what time we'll be able to come back.
Okay. All right.
We've been having to do surgery and stuff because we don't know what will happen.
Correct. Well, that's why I'll call you afterwards. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
But thank you for the update. All the best, my love. Keep the faith.
Okay. Okay. Thanks.
Right.
Yeah,
sure.
I will.
All right. Take care, Sheldon.
Okay. Bye. Okay. Bye.
Bye-bye. There we have it. That's the love that we have here. We want to wish Michelma, gosh, it's just something. We miss her a lot. We know that she's a staunch Sabrina Speaks supporter here, and the entire family here loves Michelma. But we'll just have to be there for her as she navigates this uncertainty with her husband, and we wish him all the best, and we will be there with her. Yes, see, Michelma. Jim says, bless you and your husband, Michelma. Keep the faith. Denver is also sending my prayers for my friend and her husband, Billy Ray. Ann Stevens is saying, so sorry, Michelma. God bless and keep your family. She has been hit from November because she was going up, remember, for Thanksgiving. And then she said she would be coming back for the new year. She was really looking forward for spending time with Joita and just a family over there. And that turned to a different event. Yeah. So there we have it. Yeah, thank you for all of the feedback on the beef and all that I have. Yeah, I will share on the Sabrina Turner's page. I will share the Christmas rice recipe. There was somebody else as well had asked me for the sorrel cake recipe as well. I will share that with you on the Sabrina Speaks. I will do them as 2 separate posts so that you can have the recipes there and you can do your variations. Jim, I think you may, for all my UK fans, I tried Yorkshire pudding. Oh, wow. Yeah, they came out good too. Yorkshire pudding. Yes, they were a hit as well. And I did some savory and some sweet for coffee and stuff in the morning. So yeah, there we have. So I was doing all kind of things. Let me tell you. I did it. But let's get into Joshua Dilbert says, all the best, Michelma. Thank you, Josh. How's it over there? Happy New Year to you, my love. Connie say, all the best to you, Michelma, as well. That's how we roll here. Thank you for the compliment for the show. Sandra, we're just getting started here for 2026, but we're still going to go into some topics or let you know, and we ease into 2026, holding people accountable, and definitely civic power. Civic power is going to be our foundation as we navigate unity, togetherness, standing together for one, definitely for this new year and beyond. We got to start somewhere. Have you heard that the Center for Disease Control Prevention just made one of the biggest, this is out of the US, changes in childhood vaccine policy. This is happening over there in the US. Now, I'm just putting this on notice for you all to know this. This does not necessarily, or will it impact the Cayman Islands? We will have to wait from our public health officials. Maybe the Minister of Health could say something in regards to this as well, whether or not our stance here changes at all. But what is happening over there is one of the biggest changes in childhood vaccine policies in decades in the US, because their now recommended schedule now covers that 11 diseases instead of 17 vaccines for measles, mumps, rubella, polio, chickenpox, and HPV remain required for all children, but several others were dropped. Okay. So what this has happened is that this shift happened under the U.S. Health and Human Services Secretary. We know that is Robert F. Kennedy Jr., and their public health experts say that the change could have major implications for disease prevention and community health over there in the United States. So we know that when these vaccine policies change, it affects not just individuals, families, but the safety of the entire communities. That's why public health now in the US and even us traveling to and forth is at risk. And this is why we need to hear, from our side, whether or not you're an anti-vaxxer or not. I just felt it was good for us to actually share this with you, and how important it is as staying informed helps you make empowered choices and understands how national decisions could possibly have ripple effects into our local life. So we know that there are certain screenings and stuff that is done from an immigration standpoint. With this change now in the United States of America, and let me read it for you just in case you didn't get it. The Center for Disease Control and Prevention has made one of the biggest changes in childhood vaccine policy in decades. The recommended schedule now covers 11 diseases instead of 17. Okay. Vaccines for measles, mumps, rubella, polio, chickenpox, and HPV remain required for all children, but several others were dropped. So there's more information that's going to come out on this, but because we know this is public health, doesn't matter where in the world you are, we have a duty to screen, and for persons who are traveling and coming here to work, maybe are persons who are actually screening for our medicals and all this sort of stuff needs to be on alert with this as well. And public health, I'm quite sure we will hear more from that as this develops. Denver, Yorkshire pudding without roast beef, British way is the best. Yeah, I know. I honestly saw it again, Denver. I just saw everything popping up and I wanted to try it. I had the ingredients and I was impressed. They were huge, and they tasted good. Even better with, I did it the Caribbean way. I did it with some of the codfish and ackee. You know what would be good with too, Denver? A little bit of chili. Oh yeah, that'll be good with it. Now, I know a lot of you made New Year's resolutions. I've already gone through that bit. But there has been a landmark junk food ban advertising to protect kids in the United Kingdom. Yes. Can you imagine? Now, they have taken words and they have put it into actions. Over there in the United Kingdom, they have just junk food advertising ban came into effect today. Yes, the 5th of January, 2026. And the government of the United Kingdom has published clear, and I was blown over at these stats when I was doing some research, I dug deeper. But the government has published clear data information on its scope and what it's expected to impact and the rationale behind why they did that, right? So pretty much on United Kingdom, on UK's TV, right? Between 5:30 a.m. and 9 p.m. on TV, there will be no advertising. No. Mm-mm. No advertising of what is categorized as junk food. Now, when you look at the categories that they're saying is junk food, there will be no advertising of soft drinks and soft drinks with sweets that includes even porridge. Yeah, porridge and sandwiches. That sort, it's expanded to all of these things and certain cereals. Yeah, they have actually banned these advertising. So like fast food chains and all that sort of stuff not coming against them. The takeaway from this is that the government of the United Kingdom is projecting that this ban is expected to prevent some 20,000 cases of childhood obesity. And what this will also do is that it will remove approximately 7.2 billion calories from children's diet each year without all of this promotion of what we're hearing junk food is called. So at the end of the day, we have to look like they are definitely putting public health protection and long-term benefits, and they're starting with the children. And the mere fact that they are actually moving away, that any ads are ads for food and drink that is high in fat, high in salt, high in sugar are banned. They're banned from TVs. No advertising, as I said, from around 5:30 a.m. to 9. And you say, oh, well, that's just TV. What about online? Guess what? They are banned. No adverts at any time online. Yeah, that came into effect today. And it will actually, it's about 13, let me check here, 13 products. And as I said, soft drinks, chocolates, sweets, pizzas, cakes. Oh, Christ, I would get beat up for what I just shared. Cakes, ice creams, breakfast cereals, porridges, sandwich, sweetened bread products like donuts, and yogurts. Yeah. Now, also, what they're forecasting with this change, because it's not in your face, because we know how those advertisements make them hamburgers and then pizza look good. Oh my God. Yeah, I weak in the knees. But what removing these from those spaces, they're forecasting is going to that could probably take away 2 billion pounds in health benefits. That will deliver 2 billion in health benefits. Yeah. So the risk of obesity, and we know what comes around with obesity, diabetes, coronary disease, cardiac disease, hypertension, all that sort of stuff, they're expecting over a period of time, with this coming in effect today, that they will see a significant drop in childhood obesity, and they will see an improvement in overall public health there in the US. We know in the UK, we knew exactly what they did when it comes to the exhausts and their carbon footprint, even with their vehicles that they use over there. There's no, over there in the UK, when you're walking and all that sort of stuff, you're not smelling all of those fumes. You're not. And they have lessened their carbon footprint. And I think it took them almost, 10 years for us to see the positive impact. Now, here it starts today. But they have no longer talk about it. They are making a bold step in actually making a change in the future. And we will definitely keep it locked here to see exactly how that plans out there. Jim, yeah, excellent. You're celebrating. Denver even agrees. Yes, Annie agrees as well. Looking at young people on our island is disgusting. So overweight. Yeah, but we have the stats to prove it, Denver. I have been meaning to break down the STEP survey. I have invited persons from the Ministry of Health and Wellness to come and break down the STEP survey in layman's terms, because it has forecasted pretty much what our future will look like in the next 10 to 15 years. And it is very evident that if we don't make some changes here in the Cayman Islands, and the information that is contained in that STEP survey is not overseas, that is local information. So it's not about, oh, this is regional based on stats here, there, and everywhere. The information that is contained in that STEP survey forecasts, projects, can actually help us with proper funding of healthcare and know exactly what the state of our healthcare will be for the next 10 to 15 years, if not longer. It's all contained in that one document. So to say that the information is not readily available for the Cayman Islands, don't make nobody fool you. It is right there. And we have seen that there will be an increase in diabetes, high blood pressure. That's going to also increase the demand on dialysis treatment. We could see an increase in amputations from diabetes and blindness as well, of course, diabetes. So what are we going to do? The UK has done this, and maybe we could take a page out of their book to start somewhere, or maybe we can do something much bigger. But the data is there. There's no telling about the state of our health in the Cayman Islands, and that's all 3 islands. And we know that we have an aging population, that there's living longer, but the quality of life may not be that good because of all of these non-communicable diseases that we have, such as hypertension, diabetes, glaucoma, high cholesterol, that have other long-term implications on person's quality of life that could definitely impact the well-being of even extended family. So definitely it is there. The message is definitely there. The information, is there. Damian Henry says banning roadside posters and billboards too, to advertise. Yeah. And I don't know if it will change even the way we get sponsorships as well. So let's see. I mean, the UK has taken a bold step, and I applaud them for that, which is why I felt it was so good to actually mention it here, because we have the data, we have the information at hand with what we have to do here, so that you can even funding. Yeah. Yes. Thank you very much. Yes. Okay. So I've just been aware. I was mentioning it that we haven't heard anything from our powers that be. Thank you for my loyalist. That the governor issues reassurance after U.S. action in Venezuela. So I am going to see I'm going to copy this link. Hold on. There we go. So I'm going to on the CMR. So I'll be off in about half hour. I will read that. So there we go. You can always follow that on the CMR page. Thank you so much. I saw it coming in, There we go. That's the link. So you can read the governor's address in that, and her reassuring. I am so happy for them. There we go. Yes, Jim, most of us said, okay. Jim, most of what's sold in grocery stores is bad for one's health anyway. Process, chemicals. And then we wonder why there's so much sickness. Yes, you're quite right, Jimbo. With the exception of Christmas, to be honest, Jim, and I must say I've been home now for 7 months working from home, and I have really seen a difference in what I consume. Oh, I'll kill you for a little shameless plug. If I could cheat, I could cheat with Burger King because I tolerate it. It is what it is. And it is what it is. But I must say, since I've been working from home, I have seen a difference in my choices. I feel better. My skin has changed. I have lost a few pounds despite me cooking because of feeding everybody. And I'm baking up a storm because I guess I'm bored and I love doing it. But if I don't have a problem with actually doing a lot of home cooked food. It's better. But it all depends on your household. Some people, it's cheaper to eat on the road, but there are healthy options out there as well. But you're quite right, Jim. Do you read the contents? Wake Up, the Cayman Islands says, yes, that's right. Every time a purchase, every time a purchase an energy drink here in the UK, I have to get authorization regardless of my age. Teenagers cannot purchase them, period. Wow. Okay, they're taking this serious. Really? Jimbo, we have a lot more in common. Burger King is one of my favorite fast foods, but it's one of the worst fast foods. Well, we can't be speaking from both sides of our mouth now. It's all in moderation, okay? And they're grilled, they're broiled, okay? But yeah, that's where you'll find me. Yep, it is what it is. Also, changing subjects a little bit from that. Thank you for the governor, Her Excellency's office of the governor, for actually delivering that. Finally, yes. And I hope that our people will be assured of that. And I'm quite sure Sandra will cover that tomorrow. And we will give her version of it as well right here. Are you all aware? Now, I'll give you the context that there has been some new U.S. visa application rules that are now in effect as well. So all of you Caymanians who apply for U.S. visas we have a community here that is diverse. We have so much other nationalities right here in the Cayman Islands that if you're not a BOTC and you still have your home country's passport that you're here on, traveling back and forth from the United States, you require a U.S. visa. This change could impact you. Now, I'm going to keep you up to date with this and share with each and every one of you that there is a visa application rules that require applicants to apply only at the United States Embassy or Consulate in their country of residence or nationality. The new U.S. visa application rules now require applicants to apply only at the U.S. Embassy or Consulate in their country of residence. We all know that we don't have a consulate, U.S. consulate here for any other nationality outside of U.S. citizens, right? Or nationality. Now, what this means is that individuals, for example, from Jamaica, Barbados, Mexico, and similar countries can no longer travel to other U.S. consulate to submit their visa applications or attend interviews. Okay? Remember, sometimes we could go to Bahamas? I could tell you the Cayman context now. So the key changes in this process, and I'll give you the old to the new rule, is that the old system that was in place, applicants could sometimes apply at U.S. consulate outside their home country. Example, a Jamaican national could go to Bahamas or somewhere else to file their U.S. visa application. They could even go to Barbados, maybe, or Mexico for appointments that were a bit faster because it's all about time, right? But with the new rule, applicants must now schedule their visa interview only at the U.S. Embassy or Consulate in their country of residence or nationality. So if you're Jamaican, you can only do your applications in Jamaica. You no longer have the privilege of going to Barbados or Nassau or anywhere else. If you're from Barbados, you can't do your application in Jamaica. You have to go back to Barbados to do your application, okay? Because the Cayman Islands does not have an embassy and our consulate services here, unless it's subject to change, but as it currently stands, the U.S. consulate office that is located in the Cayman Islands is only for U.S. citizens, okay, who are residing here, or for you to register births of American children that are born here and to provide services for any U.S. nationals that are here needing emergency services to leave or a cruise ship, whatever. They are not the ones to process US visas. The consulate services that are offered here in the Cayman Islands is not for that. So that being said, you then have to go to Jamaica. Okay. Now, the reason behind this is that this change is that it's tied to the proclamation as declared, as you can double check this, the presidential proclamation 10998 that took effective on January 1st of this year, January 1st, 2026, which restricts and limits entry of foreign nationals to protect U.S. security, is what this proclamation declares. And there are going to be some very practical implications, because what will happen now is where you would be able to go here, there, and everywhere that is not as busy, you no longer have that. So what could actually happen is that you could have longer wait times. You could have extended travel cost reduced for some. For some, it could be reduced. But what's going to happen where waiting times are concerned is that applicants may face longer appointment backlogs, since they can't shop around anymore for faster consulates or these embassy services. And for example, there is no need to travel abroad for visa or interviews, but also removes the operation of bypassing delays. So because of the Cayman Islands, how we set up, for those persons, let's say you are a resident here, but you still are a Jamaican national, which you would then go back home. But let's say you're from Barbados and you want then to apply for your US visa, it doesn't necessarily mean that you would have to go to Barbados. It could actually, with exceptions, you could possibly still do it in Jamaica. But what is now being said is that if that is the case, your safest bet when you have, for example, Barbados, when you have to renew your US visa, you would then have to fly back to your country of nationality, in this case for Barbados, to renew your US visa application. If you're only having a Barbados. And I only use those two as an example, okay? So countries with high demands, which we know, like Jamaica and Mexico, will definitely now see significant delays, because this proclamation has definitely now limited people's options. So if your home consulate is backlogged, you cannot legally apply elsewhere, like the example I gave now for Barbados. Because the reason why is because the Cayman Islands do not have a consulate services that process visa applications. So in this case, because you're a legal non-delivery resident in the Cayman Islands, and Caymanians then go to Jamaica to process their application, for you being a Barbados national, you would have to go to Barbados to apply for your renewal visa. That, my friends, took effect on the 1st of January. Okay. But still, we ask you to check with your local embassy website. In this case, for those of you from, let's say, Mexico, we have Mexicans here. We have Barbados national here. You need to check with your local people. But now that has now changed. So however you used to renew your US visa applications, no more. That changed at 12:01 on the 1st of January. Our current practice here in the Cayman context, because as I said earlier on, the Cayman Islands do not have a US embassy or consulate that provides visa services. Caymanians ourselves, who typically will fly to Jamaica to submit their US visa application and attend their interview, this long-standing arrangement with Jamaica handling the visas remains, okay? And even though this policy now is in effect, the Caymanians themselves can no longer go, for example, they cannot go to Bahamas anymore. They couldn't go to Barbados or Mexico, whatever, right? They cannot, because I know for a fact that there are a number of Caymanians who would just go for the weekend in Nassau to the Bahamas to just renew their visa applications. No, as of the 1st of January, you can no longer do that. You can't go to other countries outside of Jamaica. So our only options as Caymanians remain Kingston, Jamaica, because because that is the designated consulate for the Cayman Islands and for Cayman. So in short, Caymanians will continue to fly to Jamaica, but they lose their flexibility of applying elsewhere if Jamaica wait times are longer. So Connie's question is, so the Philippines will have to go back home to apply for their visa too? That is what I'm getting from this proclamation. Yes, ma'am. And the reason for that, Connie, Bonnie, unless there's some hybrid into this, which I'm not speculating, I'm reading it for what it is. It says, the Cayman Islands does not have an embassy services or a consulate that offers visa. So any person who is applying for a U.S. visa, be it renewal or first-time application, they will have to go back for their home nationality to do their application. Yes, their home nationality to file their application. They no longer have the flexibility, for example, to go to Mexico or Barbados, which I'm looking at proximity here, or Jamaica in this case, to file that application. If they're a Filipino national with a Filipino passport, as your question asked, they would have to go to the Philippines to do their application. Yeah. Now, if they have a Cayman passport, they can go to Jamaica. Okay? But what we're saying now, any Caymanian that still remains that you can go to Kingston. All right? So please, please, please just put that on the forefront of you so that we're not booking these nice vacations now to go to Bahamas for the weekend and think you're going to get through. This law has just changed, and that is not going to be the case. Happy New Year. Good evening. You're live on Sabrina Speaks. What's on your mind? Let's hear that voice for 2026.
Happy New Year to you too.
How are you?
I'm excellent.
Oh, good. What do you got to share with us today, my love?
I don't understand the rationale as to why you would have to go to your own home country to apply for a visa.
They said to handle the deal with security. That's exactly what's under that proclamation.
So, in other words, whatever you need, whatever the embassy would need, can only be obtained from if the embassy is in the country itself.
Mm-hmm. That's what is being said. And they said it helps with the security vetting of applications, and especially for certain visas like the H, the 1B, the F, the M, and the J. You know, they have different visa types, and they're asked to make their social media accounts, which we know that they were coming for this hard for vetting purposes. So to be honest with you, their fees, of course, non-refundable still remains. So applicants need to be careful, because even though they have to pay these fees up front, non-refundable. But the biggest takeaway is that they have to go to their home country. They don't have the luxury now of shopping around, which is why I kept bouncing back in how I delivered this, because at the beginning it says your country of residence or your national country. In the Cayman Islands context, we do not have an embassy, and our consulate services are only for American citizens. So to Connie's question, who she's wishing you a happy new year as well, about what about if you're a Filipino national, you would have to go back home to apply for your visa was her question. Based on what is put in the public's domains, it would appear as though Filipino nationals would have to fly back to their home country unless they're applying for the US visa, let's say, in a Cayman travel document, then they would have the option. But it all depends too if they're Caymanian status holders. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, but you said that they said country, home country, or country of resident.
But we don't have embassy services, you see? We don't have visa services here. So that's why they would not be able to, unless it's a hybrid agreement with a long-standing agreement that they have here with the Cayman Islands that was only issued for Caymanian applicants.
But so if their country of residence is the Cayman Islands, why wouldn't the rules for the Cayman Islands apply to them?
That's what I'm saying. I didn't want to do that with a broad brush because their residency status here, remember what I said, because of the long-standing relationships that they have with the Cayman Islands to deal with Caymanian applicants, I don't know if they would fall under that.
Well, but if you're here for more than, 3 months, you're considered a resident?
6, usually.
6?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I don't see why that rule wouldn't apply. I mean, this seems to be massive inefficiencies right, that's aimed at anti-immigration. That's weird.
Under this presidential proclamation 10998, it says with restricts and limits entry of foreign national to protect U.S. security. Now, how he added that to that, no, I don't know. But it was looked at more from a security vetting. But like what you rightfully say, because the Cayman Islands do not have a U.S. embassy here, we automatically had the privilege of shopping and going around to Bahamas. We don't have that privilege anymore with this proclamation. We have Caymanians only go to Jamaica. But like what you said, what about those non-Caymanian nationals who are resident here, be it 3 months, be it 6 months under immigration, resident to 6 months or more?
If you couple this with Cayman's immigration policy, coming to Cayman is going to be quite hostile to people who come here to work. They will have to think about all of the things that they might want to do before they come here.
Yeah, because they warned straight up that attempting to apply outside of your country, and I quote, your country of nationality, of residence, may result in denial or even cancellation.
Wow, that's wow.
This is coming out of the U.S.
Yeah, I know. That's rough.
We know that some persons coming here to take up gainful employment in the Cayman Islands have to go through, Cuba, Panama. They have to go through all the UK, to get here. And at the end of the day, we don't know how, whether or not this may be a bigger impact on that. I don't know.
Well, I want to switch the subject a bit. You were talking about health earlier.
Because of the new ban on advertisements in the UK that went in effect today.
And you see why they need a digital ID?
I know. For some reason, I said, if he don't call in, it's probably because he's occupied. But I expected you to call in on that one. Yeah.
About the cholesterol.
Can you give me 1 sec, Danny? Just let me answer this question. Somebody had asked me to read the 10998. And it says, The Presidential Proclamation 10998, issued on December 16 of 2025, is a travel restriction order that limits the entry of certain foreign nationals into the United States. It's framed as national security measure, reinstating earlier policies that had restricted entry based on perceived threats. So what this is proposed, as I said there, that was pretty much in a consolidated way. It came into effect. This applies to specific categories of foreign nationals considered potential threats. And for continuity, it builds on easier executive actions and proclamations that had already restricted entry during prior administrations. So that's pretty much where the visa status is concerned. Foreign nationals who already hold valid visa issued before the 1st of January 2026 are not affected. Their visas remain valid. So yeah, that's what that says. So pretty much in short, the proclamation 10998 is now a travel ban effective in 2026, limiting entry of certain foreign nationals under the banner of national security while leaving existing visas intact. That's what that is in a nutshell. So I hope I answered that person. Go ahead.
You were talking about cholesterol.
Mm-hmm.
Would you happen to know what the chemical formula for good cholesterol is and bad cholesterol?
Not off the top.
Well, maybe you could.
I could write down that and double check it for good cholesterol. Yeah. The chemical balance.
No, the chemical formula.
Okay.
Good cholesterol.
Yeah.
And for bad cholesterol.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this is a trick question. Just warning you.
Okay.
This issue though about diabetes
Mm-hmm.
is a very serious issue for us. But when I think about what is served in the hospitals, it's obvious to me that they're not taking diabetes seriously, because the food that they serve people isn't conducive to good health. Sad to say.
Well, I know normally what they do is based on why you get a regular diet, you get a low sodium diet, you get a diabetic diet based on what you present with. And this is going back from my days of being a nurse on the ward. And unless the doctors have specific orders for you, but I get where you're going with this, because then the kitchen would prepare your meals based on any restrictions as you are an inpatient. But if there are no restrictions while you are an inpatient and you get a regular diet, those apple turnovers are to die for.
Well,
I know I would get you on it.
You used the right word, to die for.
No point intended, but yeah, I get where you're going with that. But yeah, it could improve. Maybe they have improved. I don't know.
There's really no essential carbohydrate requirements. There is amino acid and fatty acid requirements for nutrition. But the carbohydrates is just stuff they make up. You don't really need it, because your body can make carbohydrates from the proteins that you consume. But people normally undereat the amount of proteins that a protein and overeat in the carbohydrate. Which brings us to this issue of diabetes. And I mean, I speak to people about diabetes quite frequently, and the level of ignorance about what it is they're dealing with is absolutely amazing.
Hmm.
We have to do a better job because this is a very serious issue.
Mm-hmm.
The country is hemorrhaging financially,
Yeah.
and we really need to have people in a position where they can make much better choices about what it is. Because I literally take the time sometime
Mm-hmm.
to painstakingly go through step by step what is the issue with diabetes. And most people just don't understand what it really means and why when they're eating a donut. Because, like, some of the times what they'll say to me is, oh, the doctor said if your sugar gets low, then just, have some sugar.
Mm-hmm. I think
Where in the world do they get off giving people that kind of advice?
what actually regulates insulin that deals with the heightened sugar in your blood is actually how your pancreas functions. And sometimes based on hereditary, based on your genetic makeup, some people born with this dreadful disease of diabetes. We have children that are being born diabetics.
You mean
And
type 1?
type 1, correct. And
Yeah.
it's sometimes just a malfunctioning of the pancreas that can't regulate, of course, the insulin release into the body without you having to modify your diet, without having to take medication in order to deal with it. And but if you're dealing with something that is genetically, you have to be more concerned because you're more prone, you're more susceptible for that organ, the pancreas, that regulates the insulin release into your body, because you're already coming off on the back foot anyhow. Now, obesity in itself, what you consume, the high, as you've alluded to, or richness in foods, everything in moderation. But we realize the older that we get as well, how our body reacts just with age, and our earlier lifestyles as younger persons, that our body was fit and we could just break down anything. We could go long binges of doing whatever we want over a long weekend. And our bodies were just fit and young. Our cells were able to break all of this down, our digestive system. And the older you get, then those things start to fade. That we're seeing then an increase in probably not knowing your past medical history, possibly bad abuse of how you treated your body. Then the body fights back, and that could lead to what it is. But sometimes we can actually catch it very early. Sometimes environment has an impact to do on it as well, and just education. But the key is, my friend, is to really know your trait, your family history, to determine. But whether or not you have these traits in your family, I think it is just a responsible thing to do with all of these processed foods, as Jim alluded to earlier on, that we know ourselves, and everything in moderation.
Well, you're right about type 1 diabetes, but
Mhm.
most of the people that are walking around with diabetes have type 2
Yeah.
and type 3 diabetes. So it's not a matter of whether their body is producing insulin or not. It's that they're over consuming
Yeah.
sugar, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so in other words, that's self-inflicted.
Mm-hmm.
It's something that they're doing to themselves. And there's someone that I actually spoke to on a lengthy basis years ago
Mm-hmm.
about changing their behavior. And the sad part about it is the person has a background in science.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's not like they don't understand what's being said,
Mm-hmm.
but they just kept eating the sugar. And every time I see the person, I say, look, you need to change the way you think about food.
Mm-hmm.
And the person now has body parts amputated
Oh,
as a
wow.
result of it, and he's still consuming sugar like it's going out of style.
This is where, to be honest with you, caller, I feel that public health back in the day, remember when we used to go on the road? We're missing a lot of these people, and you'd be surprised how much of them are not actually being caught because, there we go. I'm going to share this with you. Look, power of AI. Look. There. Let me try to maximize this. There we go. I am sharing here on the screen with you. I'm trying to get this as full as possible. No, that's not the one. Sorry. I did the type 3, 2, 1 diabetes breakdown.
Yeah, well,
there we go.
What people refer to as dementia is what type 3 diabetes is.
There we go.
What the problem is that people just chalk it up to age. But if you're doing the same thing all of your life that are bad habits, well, it's kind of predictable what's going to happen.
Right.
It doesn't mean it has to happen. It shouldn't happen because you have a choice in the matter. And I think we, as a country, we need to make a little more effort in informing the public about just what is happening to them.
Correct.
Because the consequences and loss of productivity, people, the quality of life, the cost to the country, financially, it's a lot. And
I don't know if you're seeing the screen, but you mentioned about Alzheimer's. You're seeing it?
Yeah, I am seeing it. Yes. But people don't think of it as type 3 diabetes. They just think, well, that's age, but it's not. It's not really age. It's an accumulation of your behavior over your lifetime that results in a certain outcome.
Yep.
And so we need to get the point across to our youth that they need to be aware that eating a certain way will have certain consequences later in life.
Correct. Because we're seeing, you see the type 1, as you've alluded to, the cause of the type 1 diabetes is autoimmune destruction of insulin production cells in the pancreas, which is what I was alluding to earlier on. And that's usually childhood or in the teens, adolescence. And the treatment for that requires lifelong insulin injections, right? And then you got the type 2 diabetes that is caused
on the type 1.
Right.
The Chinese are actually working on a cure for type 1.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I don't think they have. I think they have to an extent proved their hypothesis, but I'm not sure if they've finalized it.
Okay. And then you see the type 2, the cause of that is insulin resistant plus reduced insulin production, which, and that's onset is more common in adults, but rising now, they're seen in youth. And these key features are often linked to obesity, inactivity, and genetics. And the treatment for that, of course, is lifestyle changes, oral medication, and sometimes even insulin. And then it goes right down to what you were saying, type 3. Term sometimes used for Alzheimer's disease due to insulin resistance in the brain. I wonder if anybody even realized that.
It's not as widely known. Most people refer to it as dementia. But if you understand the mechanisms that are causing the problem, then it equips you better to be able to address it.
Right.
And so it's not that it's outside of our reach, but it requires that you take drastic action at that point in your life in order to address the matter. And it's better to avoid it than to try to have to fix it.
OMG, I did not realize it's 7:00. sure if I'm cutting into somebody else's time.
All right. Take care.
Anyhow, thank you. Always
right,
a pleasure to have you calling us. And I hope that you enjoyed today's show. Thank you, Denny. You getting all of these good reviews here. People are happy to hear your voice, a real Michelle. But it has come to an end of today's episode of our first show for 2026. It just gives you a snippet of what we're going to be getting into for the rest of this year. And yes, we are going to go into civic power and accountability. Yes, that's what we're all about. I want to thank you all for staying with me, for sticking with me. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so you don't miss an episode. Until tomorrow, have a safe and fabulous Monday evening. Usual. I love you lots. Until tomorrow, God bless. Take care and have a good evening.
That's a wrap for today's edition of Sabrina Speaks. Thank you for tuning in and for being part of the conversation. Remember, the dialogue doesn't stop here. Stay engaged, stay informed, and most importantly, stay empowered. We'll be back tomorrow at 5 p.m., same time, same place, right here on CMR TV and radio, where your voice matters and your truth is heard. Until then, Cayman, take care of yourself and each other.
That's it for today's edition of Sabrina Speaks, where your voice matters, your story counts, and your truth is always welcome. Join us weekdays from 5 until 6:30 p.m. right here on CMR TV as we dive into the topics that matter most to you. Catch the show live or on demand at cmrtv.com. And don't forget to follow us on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram so you never miss a moment. Until next time, stay informed, stay engaged, and always speak your truth.